Hello and welcome back to yet another charity one-shot for WAVAW Rape Crisis Center. This one is very near and dear to my heart because April 1st, here in 2 days, will be the second anniversary of the Black Dice Society, which was the first appearance of many of these beautiful people in these roles, or at least this incarnation of these beautiful people. Now, if you've watched one of our WAVAW games before, you know we have a wonderful script here that Shar has laid out for us. It's a very well-oiled machine, and yet I am a savage, and I go off script all the time. So let me just say up front, which is about to be repeated inevitably, this charity is very near and dear to my heart. Like all charity games, hopefully you're going to hear some big numbers flying around. You're hearing people donating hundreds of dollars and we're hitting thousands of dollars raised and everything. But there's been plenty of times in my life that I didn't have an extra $5 to throw at something. So I will just say literally every dollar counts, every bit counts. Please signal boost what we're doing here for this game and the rest of the games here during their fundraising season. Now, that being said, I'm actually going to go on script now and say you can use chat code !donate because today we are playing level 20 Dark Lords D&D to support the survivors of sexualized violence. All fundraising proceeds from today will be benefiting WAVAW Rape Crisis Center. They're a charity that provides immediate crisis and long-term support services to survivors of sexual assault. The first Wait, is it still the first 500 donated match, by the way? Or is this from our previous script? Let me just make sure I'm not about to lie on somebody. Production overlords.
That is a mistake. I am the worst.
That's all right. That's all right. We had a price matching thing that came up last time, so that's okay. No donation is too small. $5 gets a survivor to and from group therapy. $15 funds an hour of text or chat support for survivors. $35 provides an hour of their 24/7 free of charge crisis information line that accepts calls from all over the world. Also calls and texts, because unfortunately there's people that are in environments where they're not safe to even say out loud what's happened to them, and WAVAW is still here to support those people. Every $60 provides a survivor with an hour of counseling free of charge. If you happen to have $100 to spare, that covers taxi services to and from the hospital for 5 survivors. And if you have $650, that's enough to fund an entire support group for up to 8 survivors.
And if you use code !WAVAW, all of WAVAW's services are available to all people of marginalized genders, including cis and trans women, non-binary, trans, genderqueer, and two-spirit people. These services are free of charge for survivors, including hospital, police, and court accompaniment, victim services, group therapy, individual counseling, text and chat support, the crisis line, and more. The donations that you're making today are already changing lives. At the start of the stream, we have already raised enough money to fund 200 hours of counseling sessions for survivors at WAVAW. Every dollar counts today. And for everyone that donates, we have some special gifts for you.
That would be !exclam free gift. For everyone who donates $15 or more, you'll receive access to a digital TTRPG bundle featuring a big bad PDF from Hit Point Press, as well as amazing indie TTRPGs from the community, including Mastermind and the Party from Joshua Simmons, Walking in the Twilight, When the Sun Dies, and to all those I've heard from Dare to Dream RPG, Rex and Glyph from Andre Riviera Art, Journey to Elysium and Twilight Grove from Casper, the NB Ghost, Spin the Bottle, Memories by Moonlight by Super Dylan, Killer Ratings, and Void 1680 AM from Bannerless Games, and more amazing indie TTRPGs. You'll gain access to the digital bundle during the first week of April.
Now let's talk about raffle prizes. When making your donation, if you want to participate in our raffle, be sure to select a reward that involves raffle tickets. We have over 100 prizes ready to be given away, and raffle tickets cost only $10 each. We also have a special bundle of 30 tickets available for a $150 donation, which will cover over 4 hours of WAVAW's crisis line. Noura, tell these folks what they can win.
Using chat code !donate, the prize packs include player source book bundles and adventure bundles from D&D Beyond, Hero Forge custom printed color plastic miniature codes with free shipping, and Roll20 assets and games. We also have prize packs that include Dragonlance and keys from the Golden Vault, digital copies, and more. In fact, so much more that I need Omega to take over.
Prizes also include Humblewood campaign setting PDFs from Hit Point Press, as well as their Horror Carnival setting Heckna. New this year, Hit Point Press is also providing copies of their Big Bad Compendium, which is about to be on Kickstarter, so check that out. A full bundle of epic Big Bads and even more loot and magic items. There's so many amazing goodies up for grabs, and the best thing is that every dollar will be supporting survivors of sexualized violence. Hey, Mark, what else can folks get by donating?
Well, I shall tell you, Omega. There are even a limited number of personal thank you videos available from the cast. Pick them up for a donation of $100, equivalent to getting 5 survivors to and from the hospital safely. But hurry, because these are going fast and won't be available for long. Speaking of, if you are watching this via the VOD, donations will go towards raffle tickets up until the draw, which is at 11:59 p.m. Pacific on March 31st. Please give generously to support survivors at WAVAW Rape Crisis Center, whose crisis line receives over 5,000 calls a year from across the globe.
I have to intersect here. This is me going off script. It's very much in the spirit of this enterprise here. When we started, there was a backlog of people waiting to be contacted because the need was so great. And again, we've already funded 200 hours worth of being able to help people and help close that gap somewhat. So literally everything you do today is going to help us achieve that. We raised a lot of money in the first day, and it was very shocking, and we were very enthusiastic, and we were very grateful. And now we're just trying to continue to drive it up more and more and more because unfortunately the need's not going to go away. So incentives, chat code !incentives, you can donate to affect the game. The link to donate is in chat, and you can select your reward to help or hinder some of these people are literal gods. You know, maybe it's me that needs the natural 20s, and I need the advantage. You can cause chaos and more. I tell people when we do these charity games, they go off the rails very quickly, and quite frankly, the sooner it goes off the rails, the better, because that means people are being generous and participating here, trying to put their finger on the scales. For $30, you can gift advantage to one of our wonderful humans playing a truly terrible individual. That will cover 2 hours of WAVAW text and chat support. For $40, you can force a wild magic surge, which will cover an hour of WAVAW's crisis line. For $60, you can gift a natural 20, which will cover 1 hour of counseling for a survivor. I've seen some of their dice pools. They can do some disgusting things with a natural 20. And also, we only played with one house rule, that a 1 always fails and a 20 always succeeds, even on skill checks. So to gift a nat 20, you're definitely gifting them success at something. Or gifting me success at something against them. Just saying. For $100, you have a draw from the deck of many things. My most favoriteest thing in the whole world, because 100% of the cards in the deck of many things are good for me. Some of them are good for them too. I'm not gonna lie. Considering they're already gods and demigods, I have no idea how some of these things are going to play out, but I'm very happy to figure it out. Now, before we go, I just have to check. Is there anyone who has never had a draw from the deck of many things?
I don't think I have.
Oh, Johnny and V, they have been the givers of the deck, but never the recipients. So I'm just saying, Johnny and V never had draws from the deck of many things. That's in your hands there.
Be my first.
There you go. And that covers taxi fare to and from the hospital for up to 5 survivors. And last but certainly not least, $500 will add a boss monster of your choice to come and help or hinder them. We've had Tiamat show up. We've had the Tarask show up. We've had a Sararak show up. We've had a Sararak riding the Tarask show up. Literally whatever you want to do, I will do. Just when you donate, specify the monster you want, or if you want me to choose, and specify if you want the monster to help or hinder them. And that will cover up to 8 hours of individual counseling. Again, remember, when you are donating, please fill out your response to the reward question that pops up, or else you won't be eligible to claim your prizes. If we hit our next goal, which is $13,750, 100 hospital accompaniments will be funded for survivors. Now, with that being said, let us return at long last to the Shadowfell. Raven Queen. It has been a time of uncharacteristic quiet in your domain. Recently, two of your oldest foes, Vecna and Orcus, had combined their efforts to defeat you once and for all, and were very nearly successful, if not for the intervention of a handful of heroic mortals, which you've already seen to reward in your own unique way. And now, the Fortress of Memory, reconstructed, is beginning to heal, and all things had gone back to the way they should be in the Shadowfell, except for one thing. The fortress is built literally from the stuff of memories. It is adorned with the accoutrement of heroes and their stories of weapons and armor and shields, but also small things. A hair comb, a drinking cup, a doll, a child lost somewhere along the way. And in the skies above, in this land of eternal gloom, there is a swirling mass of the endless flow of souls that make their way into your domain. But the flow of souls has ceased, Raven Queen. You notice fewer and fewer sentients have made their ways through your halls onto whatever awaits them on the other side. It would appear no one's dying.
Well, that can't be. Something's not right. The world cannot continue as it is without the balance of life and death.
As you look out over the plains, you see your Shadarkai, your shadow elves that are native to your plane, are manning their various positions dutifully, but you see a wave of anxiety beginning to wash over them as the green spectral energy over your castle is fading. And as this shock and anxiety begins to move through your subjects, shock and anxiety moves through me as I realize I didn't give you beautiful people a chance to introduce yourselves and say who you are and who you're playing. So I will actually begin with you, Raven Queen. Who are you and who are you playing today?
Hi, hello. I'm Noura Ibrahim, also known as Neurological across the internets, and I am playing the Raven Queen.
Excellent. We're going to go around the horn here in the order you all are on my screen, which next would be V.
Hey everyone, I'm V Muse, and I am playing Voronika, the Dark Lord of Koshmar, and you can find me pretty much everywhere as V Muse.
And CB.
Pat, okay, I'm here. Hi, am I still Chickmonk? I don't think I'm Chickmonk. Hi, my name is Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard. Critical Bard across all social media channels, he, they pronouns. And today I am playing Hakan Lucas, the Dark Lord of Cartacus.
It is true. At one point when we were setting up, Omega was saying very important things to us, but had this like chipmunk voice mod, and we're like,
hey, it's a juxtaposition to what's going to come, so it makes sense.
Excellent. Tanya.
Hello, I'm Tanya, known as Cypher of Tyr, and I'm playing your Drow Dhampir Warlock Blood Hunter, but not really. I'm actually Nepenthe, a talking sword, so we'll see what happens.
Finally. Mark.
Hello. I am Azalin Rex, the Dark Lord of Darkon, erstwhile Dark Lord of Darkon. This day I am being portrayed by Mark Meer, but he's not available.
And last but not least, joining us for the first time in this capacity, Mr. Johnny Stanton IV. Who are you playing today?
Hi, I am Johnny Stanton IV, and today I am the land, I am the ancients, I am Srod von Zarovich, the leader and Dark Lord of Barovia.
You know, last time we saw Strahd, he was getting killed by some people that bear a
What are you
striking
talking about?
resemblance to some people.
What are you talking about? I do not remember.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be fine. I'm sure this is the last we will hear from any of that. Perfect. So, Raven Queen, your key lieutenants you've dispatched to the frontier to make sure that even though you saw Orcus and Vecna defeated with your own eyes, this still might be part of their plot, their more treachery from them. And so you still can't quite let your guard down. But you hear the hesitant footfalls of one of your priests walking towards your throne room. Just to say, yes, Raven Queen, I come bearing tidings. Okay, all right. Just don't look her in the eye, but don't not look her in the eye because you don't want to offend her, but you also don't want to stare. Just, yeah. My queen.
Come forth.
I come bearing ill tidings, my queen, my goddess, my.
Well, tell me, what is it that upsets you so much?
Anything that would inhibit you in any way. The smallest pebble in your path must be moved. In the light of the glorious victories of against Orcus and Vecna, it just would seem that death is missing.
This displeases me.
Well, as you noticed, we realized that there was a reduction in the flow of souls, which was normal, but it seems to have halted very quickly. The last few remaining who have died have recently filtered in, and we've held them to the side for questioning. But we wanted to bring this to you. I'm sure you are already aware you are great and powerful, and do not miss anything with your all-knowing gaze, and please do not direct your all-knowing gaze towards me, or do. I'm not certain, but we didn't know how to proceed. In all of our time, we have never seen such a thing.
What troubles me in this situation is that my foes have been defeated, and yet the natural order of existence is out of balance. Who is this person that is in your possession?
It is just simply souls that were filtering through like all the rest, but when we realized that none were trailing after them, we simply put them to the side before they carry on to wherever it is that they are owed.
And where are they now?
And he just sort of motions with like a trembling finger. He's like, in one of your studies.
Thank you. I wish to speak with them.
Should I bring them to you? Would you like to come to them?
You can bring them here. And I thank you for your vigilance.
Thank you, Raven Queen. And you see he just bows down and immediately sort of scoots outward. And a few moments later, Raven Queen, again, this very palace is the stuff of thought, and it is as you will it. And if you wish them to be here, quite frankly, they are. So in a mere moment, a door opens to an adjacent room, and you see that same servant coming in from the other side, now looking and seeing you. And there are what look like souls. You've seen countless souls in your time, Raven Queen. They don't look in any way special. There's a human. There is a Gith Zerai, a tall, yellow-skinned, paled entity. There is a halfling, and there is an orc. And you see they're looking around, and you see the orc says, I thought I'd be in battle with my ancestors when I met my end. Well, friend, I thought there'd be a lot more drinking, but this is nice. Look at the inlays on this table here. And you see the other people looking, and they all sort of turn and their eyes fall on you at the same time, Raven Queen. We're like, and although the answer may be obvious, what does the Raven Queen look like?
As she appears now, she is very tall and pale with raven black hair and a crown of black raven skulls on her head. She is adorned with black feathers on a very long black gown with a very long train. And her eyes are a very piercing black.
And you see, it sets in on all of them what they're looking at. And the human immediately falls to his knees and says, "Oh, Raven Queen, I did my best to live a noble life. On occasion, I was required to take up my sword to defend my kingdom, and I was only following orders. And I thought I had more time, and if there was something I could do to negotiate, perhaps a return to life, I would be willing to do a great many things in your service. I'd be willing to do anything in your service." And you see the orc literally kicks him in the shoulder and is like, "Stand up, man. You've already met your end. The least you can do is face it bravely." Raven Queen.
Yes. Are you a party traveling together, and have you all met your end together?
Well, let me tell you, it was a party. Raven Queen, how should I address you? Are you Raven? Are you Queen? Are you RQ? Are you?
My queen will do nicely.
Ashante. So I'm on Sigil, right? And man, do they know how to party on Sigil? It's a place, there's doors, you can go anywhere. Don't know if you heard of it. And I come rolling out, and then everybody's kind of like running and getting out of the road and things. And I'm like, I'm used to that. They see me coming, and I'm like, hey, all right. And I turn around and I see her. And she was so beautiful. She was like tall, but like her face was kind of like metal, and it had like these sword things on it. And then I looked at her, and right when I opened my mouth to be like, "Hey, all right, I'm like little and you're like 30 feet tall," my skin started to melt off. And then
Really?
I was here.
Do I recognize this visual description that he has just given?
That sounds like the Lady of Pain, a 30-foot metal woman who looks at you when you die. That absolutely sounds like somebody you know, especially since he said this happened at Sigil.
Well, that should make things very interesting moving forward. Is that how the rest of you met your end?
They kind of look at each other and they're like, well, I died in battle. I was robbing someone. Sorry, might as well not lie about it.
I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to find out what is happening to my kingdom.
It seems like we all died on Sigil, and we all died on Sigil earlier today. But we didn't die together. We were just there.
And this woman that you saw?
Well, I mean, I've put together with the help of these other people that she was the Lady of Pain, which, I mean, she looked at me and my skin fell off, so I guess that's fairly accurate. But I will say something. She looked at me and my skin fell off, right? And as I was like falling to the ground, like, this is unexpected. I looked and she was looking at more people, but they didn't die. Yeah. In fact, she seemed kind of freaked out by the fact that, I mean, I say she was freaked out. Her face is kind of metal, so she just kind of looked like this. But I feel like she thought people were going to die and they didn't. So
That is a concern, yes.
yeah.
I believe I would have reacted in the same manner.
Well, I just said, but I mean, come on, like, why do I gotta be the last one that dies? Like, come on. I mean, that is a pretty good story to tell. Like, if nobody else dies, I mean, that's gonna be rough because people are gonna be like eating soup and stuff, and then like the carrots and things are gonna keep growing. You know what I mean? Also, if people don't die, but what if they keep getting old? Like, isn't that terrible? If you're all just like, but can't die like that.
You now see the predicament that I'm in, yes. So I need to find a little resolution to this.
Yeah. You need to find death. I mean, I won't say need. I mean, I'm not here to like queensplain to you how you gotta, I'm just, man.
But I'm glad I didn't have to explain it to you. You seem to absolutely understand the situation.
You see the halfling stands up with his chest a little broader and kind of looks at the other two, and the orc's like, I also understood why death being gone is bad. Yes. Can we help somehow, or could you point me to my ancestors, or?
Well, I would like to know the exact location so that I could further investigate this situation.
So, Sigil is shaped like a torus, which is a very fancy way of saying a donut. And although it is very large, it is not infinite. It's got different wards. And they basically tell you they essentially died in different places. This halfling died in front of the Lady of Pain in the market quarter, but there seems to be no pattern of where or how they died beyond the fact that they died on Sigil.
Then perhaps I should go there myself.
Well, if you do, there's like a little kebab stand that's kind of like a little bit out of the way, you know what I mean? And like you go over it and you find there is a plasmoid named Manny. Now, I know you would think somebody without bones doesn't know how to cook. You'd be so wrong.
I do enjoy a good kebab.
You know what? I mean, I'm already dead. Is it too late to switch religions, kind of thing? You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of seeing this veneration of the Raven Queen. I see like this all pays off. So that
You are welcome to stay if you'd like.
Yes, but I'm going to stop talking while I'm ahead because I'm not sure if that's good.
It's probably wise.
You see the other two, the orc says like, all due respect, Queen, you could just, which door goes to my ancestors? I'll just be traveling on.
And as the orc says this, the Raven Queen approaches him and puts a hand on his forehead and retrieves a very heartfelt memory of a story of his ancestors.
You see, Raven Queen, a fire, a big burning pyre in the middle of a campsite. And you do see a group of little orcs arrayed around it, one of which was him when he was very small. And they are telling the story of when this tribe was instrumental in the destruction of a green dragon to take over this forest land for them, and how the greatest thing you can do is to grow up and be strong and die defending your tribe. And his eyes are huge, listening to the story of the defeat of this dragon.
As she slowly pulls away her hand, you will find a great many of your ancestors, and I do wish you a cheerful reunion. Through that door right over there. And as she holds her other hand up, this portal starts to come into existence, and it's kind of smoky and purple.
And he
Through that way.
looks at you, and although he's trying to keep a brave face, you do see a little bit of like tears begin to form under his eyes, having thought of this memory, and he just says,
and she does
"Thank
wipe
you.
it off of his face.
Thank you, my queen. I will tell my ancestors of your mercy. Now, important point of clarification, Raven Queen. You do, in fact, guide souls to their afterlife that they have earned. Is it your intent to deliver him to his ancestors?
Yes.
As the door opens, you do hear the echoing noises of like a raucous banquet taking place. And as he turn and look, they are like, oh! And he goes through and slams the door.
And it is my last memory that I capture of him, is that moment of greetings.
In the halls of the Hall of Memories, where again all these trinkets and tokens are formed, you see a green dragon tooth on a necklace just appears on a dais.
I approach it and pick it up.
It is the solidified memory that you have captured.
And I do take that bit of his last tear that's still on my thumb, and I gently run it across the pendant and set it back down.
As you're standing here having this moment, you see another one of your lieutenants walks up, an armored Shadarkai, who bows his head and he says, "My queen, we are prepared to march upon Sigil immediately, if that is your will, but I fear that we would be no match for the Lady of Pain."
Prepare to march, but I require a little bit of a special assistance by a group that I feel worthy of such a task.
You see, he raises her head and looks at you for a second, and his eyes narrow a little bit, and he looks off to the east, to the shadowy areas. Although it's the Shadowfell, everywhere is shadow, there's a particular area that no one ever ventures into. And he says, "My queen, you are of course wise, but surely you don't mean..."
Yes. These are dire times and dire circumstances. And for the moment, we will have to put our petty little squabbles aside
Well,
and
if it...
fight for this much more cosmic scale of unbalance and disorder.
Well, if it is true that death itself has somehow gone missing, I suppose those who cannot die might be some of the most useful.
Correct.
You see, he just sort of looks and says, "With respect, think we were better off fighting Orcus and Vecna. Should I summon Delatoth?"
Yes, please do.
You see, a few moments later, she comes walking in. Delatoth is tall and pale. She wears a mixture of armor and feather accoutrements adorned to you. And she says, "My queen, how might I serve you?"
There are certain individuals that I will need summoned from their realms.
I was listening from around the corner. Okay, just one question. I've been waiting for this so long. Do we bring the Lich or the Vampire first? Because whichever one we don't bring first is going to be so offended that we didn't bring them first. So I just...
This is
okay.
true.
Oh, okay, wait. But I've never got to hear Harkon Lucas perform live. His voice is the thing of legend. In Voronika ripped an entire mortal land into the mist. In Nepenthe, So many souls have been taken by that blade. Oh, what I would wish to be I'm saying too much.
I have chosen them all very carefully. And they are all formidable in their own way. But you do present a very interesting question. Do I bring Azalin or do I bring Strahd? Now, Strahd has been getting a little bit of disappointment in his life as of late with a certain Black Dice society. So maybe perhaps give him this little bit, because Aslan and I have had a little bit of a chat as of late. So maybe bring Aslan down a peg.
Oh, Von Zarovich. Great. Excellent. And you see Delatal sort of steps to the side and she says, my queen, with your permission, of course, if Von Zarovich says something, can I deliver him back to death again?
Well, unfortunately, it's not going to work. This is why I need him.
That is why you are the queen and I am but. And she pulls her
However,
scythe out and just kind of rests it on her shoulder. Mm-hmm.
I will say that once we do succeed, you are more than welcome.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm just going to stand here and look fearsome. Are we going to go into their domains and extract them? Will you simply call them and bring them hence? I mean, you are the Raven Queen, so I'm ready for whatever you want to do. And you see she just sort of like gets her scythe out and twirls it slightly. But it's like,
I think the more unsettling thing would for me to just summon them here.
I'm always going to vote unsettling. In Raven Queen, who do you call?
I call upon Strahd von Zarovich.
Count Strahd von Zarovich. Where are you when you hear the Raven Queen's beckoning?
I believe Strahd is probably behind. I think I'm seeing Strahd watch a group of heroes that just entered Barovia, but he's hiding. He's like behind a tree somewhere, looking like menacingly, like in case they just like scan in his direction, like they see just like an image of him before he disappears. And he's about to make this like really unsettling, creepy image. As just as he can see that he can sense they're about to look at him, and he's getting all excited, and then he just gets popped away.
The mist
What is happening? What?
Swirl around you, Strahd von Zarovich, and as quickly as they part, you are standing in a throne room, and you see a face that you recognize. You know the presence of the Raven Queen instantly, but that face, she's wearing that face.
I feel like I'm seeing ghosts.
Of Nahara, of the one that struck you dead with your brother's sword. The Raven Queen wears that face.
The Raven Queen, this is not something that is welcoming, the sight to see. The face you wear, I'm sure you wear it purposefully.
I would think that this face might please you. How troubling to see that it doesn't.
One day long ago it did, but now it only haunts me. That's one of the very, very, very few things that do. If I would prefer you not wear it, but you are.
I wear what I please.
I understand. What do I owe the pleasure?
Lord Strahd von Zarovich, it would appear that something has happened where all of our lives, and I say all because I do intend on bringing more people into this mix. However, you were the first person that I thought about would be perfect for such a mission. Now, if you feel that you are not strong enough to undertake such a heroic position as defeating whatever it is that is keeping death from restoring the balance of this universe, and by all means, please go ahead and carry on with your little petty adventurers in your lands.
You do say that death is missing. I have noticed something has been happening. These heroes, they're stronger than normal. But I appreciate the first dibs.
One other thing, Strahd von Zarovich, one thing that people very often overlook, they know you as conqueror, they know you as warrior, they know you as vampire. People often forget Strahd is also an incredibly powerful necromancer. You know a thing or two about death and undeath.
I believe I can be of help, Raven Queen.
Oh, thank you for that generous offer. I thought a man that dabbles in necromancy would be in a little bit of a tizzy if he wasn't able to
Well, you definitely
necromance.
You definitely asked the correct necromancer, not that other guy.
Oh, the other one. Well, here's the thing. We shall require a larger party than just you and I, though I am flattered. I just thought you and I could have a little face-to-face, a little tete-a-tete first.
You know,
so
speaking of a little face-to-face, a little tete-a-tete, we've already got some draws of the deck of many things. We have 2 for the Raven Queen and 1 for Strahd von Zarovich.
Ooh.
So
you are all too kind and also terrifying.
that is and also Veronica still has not had her first draw of the deck of many things. I'm just putting that out there, dear viewers. Now, Strahd, here's how this works. I shuffle, you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Cut or no cut?
No cut.
Mm-hmm.
What lovely gift does Strahd get today?
This is absolutely perfect. This is absolutely perfect, but we're going to resolve this at a dramatically appropriate moment. But I need you to know, chat.
I'll just stick it in my pocket.
This is perfect. And we will resolve 1 for the Raven Queen right now. So same thing, Raven Queen. Say when.
Stop.
You know what? I'm going to give you this one because it was in my hand when you said stop. You know what? I'm actually not going to give you this one because all jokes aside, there's 1 or 2 cards in this deck that just would not be fun. Like if that thing happened, you're like, well, now that's just not enjoyable. So I will bury that one. Cut or no cut?
Cut.
All right. So, I mean, some of them are delightful torments and some of them are just torments. Interesting. Like I said, usually these are very easy to apply, but some of you're all at least demigods, and some of you are gods. So how some of these things work is interesting. We'll also resolve that one at a dramatically appropriate moment. And let's just see how many things are looming over the head of the Raven Queen. You tell me when.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the second one for me?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, second one for the Raven Queen.
Stop.
Cut or no cut?
No cut.
All right. Also perfect for the Raven Queen. Interesting. The cards have their own story to tell. Good. Yes.
Thank you, donors.
Yes, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Raven Queen, I believe you're about to call upon someone else.
Yes. So, are you ready? Just kidding, you don't have a choice.
I figured.
And as I draw the other portal to bring Aslan to me.
Aslan, you have a different existence in the Miss. You managed to escape Darkon, or loose. Where was, or rather is, Aslan Rex when the call comes?
Aslan Rex is in his temporary refuge the shattered remains of the Citadel of Skulls, Cavitius, once the domain of the Archlich Vecna, when he found himself a prisoner of Ravenloft. Aslan prepares himself for what he assumes will be his final conflict with the Black Dice Society and Rudolf van Richten.
Aslan, as you are preparing yourself, the mists swirl around you. And Aslan, you find yourself also in a familiar environment, having seen it when you interacted with the Raven Queen, but more accurately, for the first time in long centuries, the crushing oppression of the mists is lifted. The Shadowfell is by no means the prime material plane, yet you know immediately you have succeeded in escaping prison, if only to still find yourself caught in the outer courtyard and inside the walls. And you see the Raven Queen and your old friend, Strahd von Zarovich.
Lord Aslan, we were just talking about you. Please, come in.
Summoned against my will, if I may say, that's so Raven.
I hate you so much right now.
And von Zarovich, how very curious.
Aslan.
Now, normally
Pleasure.
I would extend a formal invitation, blah, 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 yada, yada. However, something has happened that affects you as well. And I thought that you would like to know that death itself has ceased to become death.
Indeed.
And now I would assume for a Lich King such as yourself, that might be problematic.
It could be, you speak true. And yet, I had not sensed any such disruption. Am I correct in thinking that you have drawn me through time itself?
Oh, who knows how these things work. So
that would explain the presence of our associates.
Oh, right. Yes, because he was, and then now he's here. Yes.
I'm back, baby. You can't stop me from coming back all the time. I'm in your dreams, in your nightmares.
And I mean, what deity in this multitude of existences could possibly keep the two of you apart for too long?
Is that a rhetorical question, or did you have a specific deity in mind?
No, that was rhetorical.
Rhetorical. It was rhetorical.
Yes. Yes.
Seem that you have need of our services, O Raven Queen.
Yes. All little pettiness aside, I am summoning you here because I do believe that whatever it is that is causing this can only be defeated by the very best. And so...
And that's why she called me first.
Well,
no,
read into that however you'd like, but it would be a very poor decision on my part if I did not call upon you, Lord Aslan.
Who am I to refuse a call from the Raven Queen herself? Yet, I would ask of you a boon. I am finally free, it seems, of the domains of dread. If I do this service for you, do not send me back.
Well, I think that will all have to depend on how this all plays out.
Ever mindful of time's fragile nature, it seems.
Oh, Aslan, you are always a delight.
Very well. This challenge. It seems that even the strength of von Zarovich and I might not be enough to surmount it, even backed by your power.
Now, given that I thought a nice little friendly competition between the two of you would play out marvelously upon this stage, you are correct. And so I do have a few others in mind.
Raven Queen, one thing you would know, because you do know the Lady of Pain, you all have a history together. Sigil is as much her domain as the Shadowfell is yours. You cannot expect your full power to be available to you there if she does not wish it so.
That is true. And I will turn to Aslan and say, just so that you know the weight of this situation. The Lady of Pain has been able to not inflict it in her own land. I wonder what it would happen. I wonder what effect it would have on you and yours should you not be of absolute cooperation. You are muted, sir.
The Lady of Pain, you say? A terrible foe. For the record, I was not muted that time. I think I was just being too quiet for the sound gates.
That's the true power in these lands, is the noise gate, yes.
Very well. Let us gather our forces.
Who next, Lady of Pain? Oh, sorry, Raven Queen. Lady of Pain comes later.
Well, seeing as how we need strength, there is a certain weapon who is being wielded by one I am very impressed with. Who you, and I look towards both Aslan and Strahd, who you have become acquainted with.
I know of whom you speak.
You need to take them, huh?
Nepenthe will be useful. And Fen is proving to be quite a formidable force of nature.
Finn?
Yes.
Where are you when the call comes?
Fen is actually off to herself, communing with Nepenthe, for this is not long after she ferried it away from Isolde.
The sword, again, is always awash with a storm of rage and retribution, in giving you a list of people that you should kill and heads that you should chop off at the slightest insult. But one day, as you are sitting there trying to still get it under your control, you hear him speak very clearly in your head. Oh, no. Yeah. They call upon us. They wish for our strength, but I refuse to. And the mist close in part, and you see yourself with the scene previously described, Finn. You hold the sword glowing brightly in your hand, but it seems like you can't hear Nepenthe as clearly as the familiar face of Aslan Rex and what looks like Nahara stand before you, and von Zarovich, but somehow different than before, and yet it is him.
And I'm just holding the sword, and I look to both of them. Aslan, I see your back. Aslan, I see you're present.
And you as well, though I believe it is your companion who we wish to speak with.
Well, now.
Finn, when Aslan says that in your head, Nepenthe is like, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, take his head, kill him. But it does seem like it's almost like some distance, like Nepenthe's full power isn't realized here. It's like you have more say, but then you very much hear him say, Finn, I realize you want something that I will help you have. I will help you rescue Isolde. I will release her. Just let me take the wheel this time. Let me call the shots, Finn.
Let's see what the Raven Queen wants first. She doesn't idly call upon people.
They're not people.
Well, neither am I when you think about it.
Fine.
And I just kind of stand there at attention with my hands on the pommel, like just letting this sword glow. It's like
it is look.
I just also give Strahd just a dirty look. I thought we killed you.
I was going to say you're silent for like 30 seconds. I was wondering who was going to talk first. I was gone for a little bit. I'm back. Get used to it.
Ben,
Yes, my queen.
I have been keeping an eye, of course, seeing as how my dear brother Uriah is such a faithful servant of me. And we are in a very dangerous situation in the grand scheme of things that will affect everyone in existence. So to give you the TLDR, the death itself is unable to be death, and people are not dying, which I may seem like a hurrah moment. However, in the grand cosmic balance of things, this does seem to put a wrench in all the wheels. And so I am gathering a party in which can hopefully resolve the situation. And seeing as how you have been very impressive in yielding Nepenthe, and I do see the promise in you, I thought of you, but I would like, before you decide immediately whether you would like to do this or not, and as Nahara comes closer and puts her hand on like the top of Fenn's head, I want you to, and as she's like summons a memory, I want you to remember who it is that you fight for.
Finn, you see back to one of those quiet moments in the woods outside the carnival, with your head laying in Isolde's lap as she braids your hair. What little sunlight there is piercing the clouds behind her like a crown. One of those few but truly happy, quiet little moments.
I know it is who I fight for, though that memory and others like it will not happen again once she realizes what I've done.
Only time will tell.
Do
not let go so easily of something I know you hold so dear to your heart. Will you help us?
I will, and I feel Nepenthe kind of shake when I agree to it. We agree. And her voice gets a little lower, a little deeper, and she kind of sets her shoulders. You do know what Nepenthe wants when this is all said and done.
Yes.
May I have leave once we do what we need to do?
Once this is completed, you may do as you wish.
You hear that,
I
Nepenthe?
will not stop you.
And the sword glows even brighter, bright enough to cast shadows against the walls, and then just dims down slightly, almost like a piece of metal just taken out of a furnace.
I sheathe Nepenthe with a slight flourish and just give Aslan and Strahd a little smirk. I'm at your command.
I hate to interrupt here, but I just have to say, thanks to the generosity of a large donation from Blandy McBlanderson, we have beaten our $15,000 goal. Thank you all so much. I realize we're still bringing the Suicide Squad together, but you all never let me down. I'm always amazed and astonished by your generosity. Please continue on as we're helping people, because again, this makes a very meaningful difference in the lives of some people. It's some of the darkest moments possible. So thank you all so very much. And again, that was a big donation. Thank you. But not everybody can make big donations, and every single donation counts. Thank you all so very much. You know, Blandy McBlanderson, if you have a request, I don't know if anything has come through here, but you know, pretty much whatever you want, Blandy. You talk to our production overlords about what you'd like to see happen here. We'll make something special happen for you. All right. Sorry. Please continue. Our next goal is 16.25. That will be 25 support groups funded. Perfect. Oh, I see something here. Oh. Wait, excuse me, production overlord. Is that from Blandy or is that from someone else, the thing that just came through? Blandy, I got you. Perfect. Sorry. Anyway, Raven Queen, fine. You guys don't have to worry about any of that. Cool. No doubt, no doubt. You know what? I'm going to toss a bonus thing on here. I'm going to add in a bonus thing for Blandy's thing. We'll get to it here in a second. Please continue, Raven Queen.
I have a few more to summon, but I thank you all for agreeing. And let's see, Veronica odds, Harkon Lucas evens. I'm gonna roll for this one. I rolled a 1. So I think, and I'm sure, Finn, you would agree, that perhaps Veronica would be of great use to all of us, someone whose beauty is only surpassed by her ability to terrorize those who displease her.
I agree.
A wise choice, I think.
I thought you were going to say that her beauty is only surpassed by mine, but yeah, whatever you say.
Have you looked in
Wow.
a mirror? Oh wait, you can't.
I have people to tell me. I get it.
Well, I am already pleased by my choice of Fenn. I already know I've made the right decision here.
It's a 1d6 willpower damage. Yeah. Yeah.
Only D6. I'm offended.
Perfect. Voronika, where are you when the call comes?
She's deep in the forest of Koshmar, and at first glance, it looks like there are these gnarled old trees with moss dangling from the branches. But as oft happens in the land of Koshmar, the world seems to skew slightly, almost in double vision. And in that double vision view, you get this sight of gnarled bones twisted into each other, and the moss is actually death shrouds hanging from the branches. And Voronika raises her head up and just sort of quirks her brow and smiles knowingly as she feels this pull.
And the mists wash over you, and you find yourself in the scene as described.
Your Majesty, you call again. What, are Dorcas and Hekna here again?
My dearest Veronica, no.
Oh,
We are dealing with a much larger problem at hand.
well, that's slightly concerning. And oh, Fen, always good to see you. I see you still have that sword with you, though.
Well, yes. Until his soul is free, we still get a bonus, Nepenthe.
She's still guilty. She's still a murderer. Kill her.
And I still have a
Easy.
very deep lake, swordy boy.
Now,
Easy,
May I?
Nepenthe.
important point of clarification, since some of us have character details that are not possible to be rendered with practical effects. What does Voronika look like?
So Voronika is very pale, and she has this long red hair that's streaked with highlights, like actually the opposite of highlights, of black. And she has these very pale blue eyes and gaunt features. And when she was at Koshmar, there were vines that were sort of growing in and out of her skin and emerging back in and twisting through her body. But now that she's here, her skin is perfectly flawless and almost alabaster. And she's very petite in form.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask, what does Finn look like?
Finn is a fairly tall drow. She's got kind of purple skin and short locks that are white, but they flip over almost like if she had a mohawk, but it flopped over. And the tips are a pale purple. But because she's more in tune with Nepenthe at this time, she just has this dark, menacing aura about her, as if any moment she might break into violence.
And I realize we also didn't find out what Von Zarovich looks like. What does Strahd look like?
Oh, is it because you can't tell with my costume? I'm sorry.
In my head,
I know I worked really
literally
hard.
just like this, like literally, like
let's go with sleeveless Strahd.
Extra. Yeah,
let's go with sleeveless Strahd. You know,
Strahd,
you got the exactly. You got the classic widow's peak, got slick back hair, eyebrows on point, fangs looking great. You know what Strahd looks like.
Aslan Rex.
Like this. He looks like this.
Perfect. Yes, please continue, Raven Queen. You were trying to say something, and I believe I interrupted you.
It's totally fine. We are here because there is something that is impeding death from actually killing. And Nepenthe, if you could hear me, I would like to remind you, because of your rage right now, if we do not find out what it is that is impeding death, you will no longer be able to kill anything. So if you could just reel it in and be a team player.
Finn, you again are very in touch with Nepenthe's swirling storm of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
He equal parts knows she's right and hates that she's right. And
I just reach back and tap Nepenthe. Oh, your sharp Dark Lord knows that you're right, although he deeply hates it.
That's fair. That is the usual response.
I mean, I like you a lot. He's a tool, but he's also a bit too chatty.
Oh, I like you too, Finn, and yes, he is a tool. Now,
I am an instrument, but fine.
Instrument tool. I have no musical talent. You're a tool.
Speaking of musical instruments, we have one more person in which I would like to bring in to the mix. And for the first time, because the Raven Queen knows memories, she would like to lure Harkon Lucas in with the melody of his own song.
You know, not to put you on the spot, Harkon, but absolutely to put you on the spot. What melody does Harkon? Well, I'm gonna ask you two questions. Where is Harkon when this comes to him? And then what does Harkon hear?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you really put me on the spot because I was not expecting that. Hey, okay, great. Firstly,
I believe in you.
Yeah, I got to think about it. He is at the Crystal Club in Harmonia, chilling in the back in the VIP section. Even though, people don't know who he is, he's still vibing because he owns it. What the hell? And I actually think, though he doesn't realize it, he sees his daughter Acriel currently on the stage singing. She's almost like a Nina Simone type of singer, very smooth, but very, she gets you. And then it shifts, whether it's in his head or in actuality, to something. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm also sick, so I'm not singing. But it's something along the lines, it feels like a Moonlight Sonata. It feels like something in that area. And he almost drops the goblet that he has as he's listening to it, not expecting to hear that come from anyone. And he's almost trying to see if it is Acriel. But as his eyes almost become hazy from this moment, he finds himself being sucked in.
And you are the only person that hears it.
Rude.
It's, I'm going to make it just a little bit worse, Harkon, because that's the nature of things. Harkon's curse is that he truly is the greatest performer in Cartacus, and yet he will be eternally forgotten. Whatever attention he gets is fleeting. And Harkon, that song, that was your first hit. Your first hit that you haven't been able to bring yourself to sing since. That no one else could sing but you. Until you hear it again, and the mist come upon you and you see the scene before you.
I think he's almost, I don't know if he's still sitting or just kind of in a stupor for a moment, but as he comes to, there's almost a tear coming down his eye. Oh, okay. Was not expecting, where the hell am I?
It is a beautiful song, Harkon. Please, come forward.
And what does Harkon Lucas look like?
Harkon looks like a strong black man who won't give no Fs. He's wearing a green blazer that's lined with gold, a white, almost like tavern-esque shirt underneath, gray pants with a bunch of belt and accoutrement all over them. These long, almost knee-high boots with a slight heel because the sect is in the hill. He's wearing this long-brimmed wide hat, though it's gray with a red band around it. Nice thick beard, bright glowing orange eyes. In his hand now is currently a red violin, and he has a wolf tooth necklace around his neck. And seeing the Raven Queen, now Queenie, if you wanted a private, symphony, I could have did it, but why you gotta drag me from my house?
You are charming. I will give you that. Harkon, I have summoned you here along with everyone else because we must find out why people are not dying. And I only require the strongest and the most able.
I mean, I am the strongest and I am pretty dang charming. And he looks over at the other people. Finn Nepenthe, something's about you different.
Which one would you like me to be?
Oh, you can be whatever you want, honey. I just making sure I know who to refer to. Is it like Finpinth? Is it Nafin? Like, is there a vibe going on?
That sounds like something you made up as a bad song lyric.
It was.
Just Nepenthe will do.
It's not a terrible song lyric, really.
And Voronika, you looking, wow. Them cheekbones, though.
The highlight is on point.
I thank you. I try.
I mean, my bad for taking over your place for a little bit. You got it back, though, so it's fine.
You're cute. You actually were part of my plan, but we'll talk about that later.
Speaking of being part of the plan, the thing that I said I was going to throw in for that wonderful donation was a draw for Voronika, who hasn't had one yet.
Hey!
Oh, Voronika, say when.
When?
And cut or no cut?
Cut.
Cut. All right.
Yeah.
He's thinking.
Uh-huh.
He's thinking.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I like this.
He's up to his trick.
Like I
Trying to make
said,
it work.
It's hard when you guys are like, you guys, to make some.
Save it. I'm seeing a save it face.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this to the side.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna draw one more. If the next one is worse than that, I'll go with whichever one is to your benefit. Okay?
Either B.Dave knows, baby. Let's go.
Whichever one is
Okay.
to your benefit. I'm gonna just cut and draw another one here.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go with the first one. 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 Okay, all right. We'll just put that over there. We'll put that over there. Great, fantastic. So yeah, we got one pending for Strahd, two for the Raven Queen, one pending for Onika. Fine. Raven Queen.
Yes.
You, having assembled your fellowship here, know that one of the things about Sigil is you can't come in unless the Lady of Pain wants you to. You, of course, have a connection to her place. You have a connection to all places, as souls transfer here and there through the Fortress of Memories. But essentially, if she doesn't want you to come in, you can't.
I'd like to plead my case.
In the Raven Queen's throne room, there is a large window that looks out not just over your kingdom of the Shadowfell, it looks out over all lands, because as goddess of death, you have some claim to most any lands. And as you intend for the window to open up into Sigil, you all see it shimmer and look like a huge, almost like a tunnel, because again, the whole thing is shaped like a torus. Off into the distance, you can see a slight curve, but where you're seeing is not the marketplace. There's not the bazaars and the bars and all of the endless accoutrement of Sigil. You see an area that looks like it is marked with temples, and you see odd-looking humanoids with white hair and goat-like horns and yellow tan skin. You know they are Dabus. I'm gonna put a picture in here so you guys can see what the Dabus look like. And they are the Lady of Pain's attendants. It is not unusual for you to see these things appear.
Not unusual to be seen by Dabus.
As we approach the viewing screen, Aslan will appear at Veronica's shoulder and simply say, "Always a pleasure, Tim."
Of course, Aslan. Very good to see you.
Tell me, from whence were you drawn?
From Koshmar, of course.
Ah, not from where, but from when.
Oh, well, let's see. Time's so different there. Apparently, when the society came to visit me once, it had been about 50 years or so ago. And then when they came back, it was 50 years later. So my when is different from the when that you want. How about that?
No doubt. Most vexing.
So curious. Now,
You see, the Dabus turn and look at each other and then look at you. Like, it's clear they can see you back, Raven Queen, which is unusual unless you want it to be.
No, I just kind of give a little toodles back, but I do say to everybody else, now, we do need permission to go into this land. As Strahd, I'm sure you're no, stranger to having to ask permission to come in.
I was going to ask, yes.
So, yes, who do I? And I just kind of like gesture towards, like, I assuming they're like in the distance.
It's since you opened the portal, it's up to you. Do you want them to be in the distance, or you want to be fairly close to them?
No, I literally want to be like behind one so I could tap them on the shoulder.
You see it like immediately turns around and like looks at all of you and just goes.
I just give a nod. I wish me and my friends, we wish to enter these lands in order to assist the Lady of Pain in this predicament.
When you say that, you see the two of them sort of look at each other and very much are like,
Act casual.
literally, yeah. And there's like a symbol appears over its head that just looks like a question mark when you say predicament. It's like,
Now you know exactly what I am talking about.
I think I get saddled up next to the Raven Queen. I'm like, you need some help. I mean, like, I'm the smooth voice if they're not listening.
I don't think it's that. I think it's a little bit more of a pride issue.
I mean, Pence could just find them guilty of lying.
Well, now, we need to be polite. We are entering someone else's domain, and there are rules and etiquette. Yes.
I said
So,
could.
Right. Well, I'm sure they know absolutely that should this have to be done by force, it would not be a good day for any of them. But I'm sure they are smart enough to realize the dangers that will befall upon them should they not comply.
I might be misinterpreting their mime, but I think they're welcoming us in. Oh, no. Time out. 2 words.
You see they look at each other, and a little symbol of a person being squeezed literally between a rock and a hard place appears, and they just sort of like, and they show the scene. They show an image of a large woman with a metal face that looks like she has rays of the sun around her, standing over them, and the two of them screaming and melting. But then they show an image of the two of them in front of the 6 of you, and there's teeth and beams and stuff, and they're melting. And they're just like,
listen, regardless, you're going to either get crushed by her or us. So
I advise you choose, and choose quickly.
you see they sort of look at each other, and over their head you see a very smooth surface appears, and then a piece of sandpaper appears and rubs on it, like. And they look at you, Raven Queen, and they just go. And you see an image of them appears over their head, of them bowing in front of a raven and praying for mercy.
Ah,
Perhaps
see, they are reasonable.
See, that's all you had to do.
they seek your intercession so that they shall not be punished by their mistress.
Well, that could easily be arranged. Why should it be your fault that any of this should fall upon you? If you would be so kind as to lead me to her.
And they just sort of like point in one of the larger temples. And they do step back out of the way where you could come through the portal.
Shall we?
Let's.
Let us.
Just fix my hat.
I mean, all of you are quite familiar, being from dread domains, that you both cannot leave and also can decide who comes and who goes. In all of your lands, you decide if someone can enter or exit, and you yourself usually can't. So this is not that unusual a state of affairs. I will say, what you do know was, again, if this was against the Lady of Pain's will, it would not be happening. Even
Right.
as you step through, for the first time, for some of you in mere decades, for some of you in almost countless centuries, out of the Shadowfell, onto the ground of Sigil. And immediately,
Long lost. Centuries of scheming, and now the possibilities are endless. Sigil.
You need a breath mint, first and foremost. Like, breathe. It's just another domain. You probably gonna get stuck right back. Don't get comfortable.
And let us focus on the task at hand, please.
I'm just going to check really quick. There's no like sunlight. Like I heard sunbeam, sun rays at some point there. I just want to make sure that I'm okay to step through.
Oh, did you want to carry a parasol? I
do
believe
see
there's one
Parasol.
back.
one of the Dabus stops and motions, and you do see what looks like a wall with a window and sunlight coming through the window.
Ooh, yeah,
and
that's
a little
not going to
straw
work.
in front of it and burning. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
not let's take precaution. Parasol, my queen, please.
A parasol. Yes, how perfect.
Well,
Just
you
to cover up
are.
these guns.
She just gestures over to, I don't know what memories attached to that one, so just be careful. But that one over there, you're welcome to take.
We are now only $530 away from our next goal as someone has donated natural 20s for everyone. Thank you all so much. I realize you all are such wonderful people that I would spend forever just listening to you talk to each other. But at some point, the thing should probably start happening. So allow me to fast forward just slightly. As you all step into Sigil, again, Azul Rex realizing that your opportunity has finally presented itself, and all of the rest of you alternatively taking in the fact that you are out. You all hear a voice that you know quite well, Raven Queen, but the rest of you have never heard before. Oh, well. Things must be quite desperate indeed to have assembled such a motley band. Oh, Raven Queen, we had our time. Isn't it unbecoming to have you pursuing me onto my next project?
Project.
When you say that, shadows begin to form in the middle of this walkway, and an outline begins to form of what was probably once a man, but now is worn down to nearly bones. His rib cage is visible with a book in the middle of it, and his face is worn and gaunt, and he is holding a large jewel. Aslan, you know exactly who this is.
Lord Vecna.
Aslan Rex, I have watched your career with some interest. You are a great and accomplished necromancer, hindered only by the buffoonery of lesser beings, he says, pointing right at Strahd.
Hey, what's the big deal? Who's this guy? What are we talking about here?
I think Harkon just leans over to Finn Penth for a moment. Who is this desiccated white man and why is he staring at us?
You don't keep up with your studies, Harkon. That's Lord Vecna.
He's irrelevant in my kingdom.
Well, we all can't just spend our days singing and dancing.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
I am
No,
a
that's
wizard.
you.
I am a wizard of shadows, but I know shade when I hear it. Harkon Lucas, yes, I did not have the opportunity to make your acquaintance. I had intended, once I conquered the Shadowfell once and for all, to pay a visit to each of your domains. Unfortunately, Orcus did not uphold his end of the deal, and I was forced to innovate again. Is that Voronika?
Hello, Hekna.
And Voronika, he's right next to you. He's over there, and then he's right next to you. And he's like, I'm called many names. I don't recognize Hekna, but I did hear you during my last encounter with her, helping those heroes. Surely it was not your intent to be at odds with Vecna, was it?
She transports herself 60 feet away from him, pulling the same trick, and smiles. Of course not. Why would you think that?
Well, mighty ones, despite all appearances and whatever my queen might have told you, I am not your enemy. I have no desire to do battle with such useful allies.
Is she lying?
Insight.
Ooh. I'm gonna insight, and depending on my role, I may use an advantage.
Yep.
31.
You also have those nat 20s too.
We got
Ooh.
advantages. We got net 20. Well, 31 is godlike success. Anything over 30 is godlike success.
I got a 23 anyway, so
32.
You already know what Nepenthe thinks. Nepenthe is like, let's just kill him. Yeah. Both Azalin and Harkon. You know, Vecna's telling the truth that he'd rather not fight you, but he will. Yeah,
I think probably Azalin and Harkon just have that look to each other for a moment.
Yeah.
And Azalin would see a slight tooth. Just like, okay, noted.
I assume you'll hear about that little mishap with death.
Care to elaborate on the details?
Death has ceased to do his universally appointed job because I have trapped him. I have trapped him here.
To what end, Lord Vecna?
Azalin, I believe you would understand. You and I, where we come from, Greyhawk. Your story is known to me, and what you gave up for immortality, for might. I assume my story is known to you, such as it is. You and I sold our souls to death. And to what end? All living beings born live a futile, limited existence, only to die. And then you, great ones, bound, tortured, denied meeting a peaceful end. Why did I do this? Because death has tormented all of us. Denied us power, too soon for the mortals, too long for those who deserve it. There should be a new order, one that I will help initiate. In fact, I already have.
I see no quibble with this. As long as there is order, there must always be order.
Azalin, he tosses you the diamond. And when you catch it, he says, death is inside. If you wish to release him, you can. I will not interfere.
I see. Then, if I were to give this to the Raven Queen, my services will have been completed, and I may go wherever I wish within this vast multiverse.
Is that true, Raven Queen? Would his services be rendered?
No, I said time would tell. How do I know that this would be the resolution of this problem?
I see. Then, Lord Vecna, terms do you offer?
Azalin. And he walks towards you. He doesn't teleport. He walks right up to you. And he says, I think you know whatever happens next is to my advantage, or I would not have allowed it to be so. But I will give you a vision of things to come. In Azalin, he leans forward and whispers in your ear and tells you something that I am about to send to you directly here.
That will be in the Zoom chat, will it?
Indeed. That's all witches communicate in Zoom.
Lovely.
I think while this is happening, Harkon probably just turns to Finn, Voronika, and Strahd. I'm sorry, just to make sure my ears are hearing this, which are quite keen. Is he making another deal right in front of us? Do we need to kill him too? I'm lost. What is our end game?
Just for the
Aslan's gonna
record,
Aslan.
just for the record, Kelly, who is running things behind the scenes, thanks, Kelly. When Aslan said Zoom chat, wrote in here more like Tomb chat. And I cannot work under these conditions, so I'm just gonna...
Wow.
We have a new DM. Kelly, come on out here.
Yes. I know it's hard to see in those contacts, Aslan.
Yes, sorry, I had to put up a pair of glasses. Aslan steps back. It's hard to tell with his rotted face, but he may look somewhat aghast. No.
Yes.
It cannot be. I see. So, this is what awaits me if I patiently go like a lamb to the slaughter.
And you see Vecna reaches out and puts one of his bony hands on your shoulder, close enough that you can make out the Book of Vile Darkness in his rib cage. And he just looks at you, Aslan, and says, "We can make a new order."
Yes. And yet, I have given my word. I am a thing of law, Lord Vecna. So first, and with your kind permission, Aslan will hand the diamond to the Raven Queen. My services to you, lady, are completed, yes?
Important point of clarification before the Raven Queen answers. Does she take the diamond?
Yes.
The moment you touch it, Raven Queen, you all are sucked inside to a place of twisting labyrinths in endless confusion.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, damn. This isn't good.
Oh, yes. As you all have found yourself drawn, it's got a specific name, which of course I could not find at the time, drawn into the Labyrinth Stone. And as you appear inside the Labyrinth Stone, you see Death standing there. Death is small, not much bigger than a man, skeletal and hooded. And he looks up at you and says, "Raven Queen, long have I served you. Long would I serve you still. But the sins of some cannot go unpunished." As Strahd von Zarovich had drawn the flames, which makes an enemy of an outsider,
Oh no.
and Voronika had drawn the skull, in which you must face death itself. I think that's a good place for us to take our little break here. So we'll just do real quick. We'll do a quick 10. Don't go anywhere because a lot has to happen in the next hour. But we've already made our goal. So, hey, thank you all so very much. Thank you for your generosity. Again, you can never tell with these things how it's going to go. But you all never let us down. So thank you so very much. Again, quick 10. Don't go anywhere because it's about to get really, really, really real. And we'll be right back. I mean, I'm sorry if you all end up dead over this, but it's charity. So if you've got to die, you've got to die.
We're live. Hey, we're live. We're live.
Hey, hi, hello. Also, chat knows I'm dead serious. We've done TPKs in these things before. That being said, we are only $145 away from our final goal. Wherein, this is what we will do if we hit that goal. I will allow the production overlords to pose a very simple question to you, good people in chat. Is something good going to happen, or is something bad going to happen? It can be a poll. It can be press 1 for something good, press 2 for something bad. I don't know. But if we hit that extra $145 to hit our ultimate goal, it will be up to you all, goodness or badness. However,
our entire existence as Dark Lords is bad, so allow us some brevity, please. Please, thank you.
I mean, normally I'm like, y'all all knew what this was, but it's a charity game. So it's a happy. I mean, if you all decide to do something charitable, that's fine, because I'm not about to. Veronica.
Yes.
Death itself turns and points at you and says, "You've made a mockery of me and my work. You must be stopped."
No.
I mean, at this point, which one of us has not made the mockery of it? So,
me? I don't give a shit.
You also must be stopped, Von Zarovich.
I mean, you can try.
I need Von Zarovich and Veronica to roll initiative. Normally, I allow this to be a surprise in when people fight death, that you must fight him alone. If someone else attacks or intervenes, it will simply spawn another death that is here to fight with you. Also,
but that doesn't account for both of us. Both of us are against this death right now.
Currently,
correct?
because this death started beef with you. Yes. So
Cool.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to use one of my advantages.
Yeah, I used one of my advantages too.
I will say somebody made a CR 373 version of death, which is not the one I'm using right now. Not
Thank you.
Cool.
not currently. Not
Question.
currently.
Question,
Yes.
Dungeon Master.
Yes.
Is Vecna present with us?
Vecna is not present with you. You 6 got pulled in, and Vecna.
I didn't realize
is not
Aslan
here.
came in with us.
Oh yes, everybody else, all of you are here. Vecna's not. You all see death, and you all see death start smoke with Veronica and Strahd. But otherwise, it just looks like a twisting labyrinth. And that is true. Celeste did one-shot death. She is the death bane. Veronica, initiative.
I got a 19, thanks to my advantage.
Nice.
Strahd.
16.
If y'all keep using up those advantages, because I still got some, it'd be a real shame if something were to happen to you when you run out of advantages.
Chat, we need more advantages.
Good news, bad news. Good news, bad news. Really just bad news is that death is going to go first. Now, let's see. Hey, that's what he does. Hang on 1 second. Let's see. Veronica, choose even or odd, please.
One more time.
Even?
Strahd, death is going to come for you first.
Crap.
Doesn't it always?
Literally.
Hey, DM.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not about to knuck if you buck with Strahd. Fuck Strahd. I'm not about to knuck you buck with death. Right now, because he don't got beef with me. However, I don't want my fellow Dark Lords dying. Would you allow me to give up one of my nat 20s to use a feature to boost their HP?
It's a charity game, so fine. Yes. Although
I guess all I'm gonna do is
like?
I can start. I think I'm chilling because this is funny to me. I can start playing Bleeding Heart, and throughout this entire moment of them fighting, he is playing a gorgeous. It's giving you Final Fantasy battle music, honestly. As I use my Inspiring Leader feature to give at least you two 28 extra temporary HP.
You
Nice.
know what? That is so epic. I will allow that to apply to everybody there.
Heck yeah!
Yep. I will let you all have it.
I'm
Heck
giving you
nah.
Yeah. So 28 to everybody.
28 hit points?
Eight temporary.
Temporary.
Oh,
temporary
28
hit points.
temporary.
Strahd von Zarovich. Death looks at you, and you see the scythe just start to light up with a green glow. Give me a con save. Also, you
Yes,
all
sir.
have access to your full stat blocks as given. So anything that's written there, you can do.
Oh no, that is a 2 on the die plus 4. Sorry, yeah, plus 4. So that's a 6.
That is not enough unless I don't know. Does
Don't
von
say.
Zarovich have any legendary resistances?
Yeah, I'll use one of those.
Okay. You feel, von Zarovich, quite frankly, death start to move through you, a feeling that you know quite well, and it isn't clear exactly what is about to happen to you as you steel your will and shake off its effects. That is, of course, one legendary action down for you.
As death closes on Von Zarovich, Aslan reaches beneath his robes and pulls out some popcorn.
Hey, stay out of this, Aslan.
Good one.
Whoa.
Good one, Von Zarovich. And then he pulls out a cup of tea and does the Kermit drinking tea.
Veronica, it is your turn.
Ooh.
Can I use a legendary action?
You absolutely can.
Cool. Is death considered a humanoid?
Yeah, it's charity.
Cool. I'm gonna try to charm. I'm gonna try to charm death. Must succeed on a DC 19 Wisdom saving throw.
I'll do this by the book here. I need you to know, hand to God, it landed on the 1, and I was like, oh no, and rolled to 19 on the die. Because the 1 is the adjacent face to 19. It really was like Death's like,
Death, I thought we were such good buddies. We work so well together.
We'll spend more time together. Veronica, $5 away. $5 away. $5 away.
$5 away.
$5.
She's gonna grin at Death and I hear that Death becomes you, but I think Moonlight might be more becoming. And she'll cast some Moonbeam right on top of Death there for funsies, because she kensies, and that's a con save to 23.
All right. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that we've got quite a few wild magic surges, so some stuff's gonna happen. Death is going to fail that save, but what kind of damage is it? Because you might imagine he's got a number of resistances.
That is radiant.
Hang on. I literally have like 5 stat blocks for death up because I'm like, they're all way too weak. Okay, all right, hang on. Let me close some of that stuff. He is not immune to radiant. He does have a significant con bonus, but with a 7 on the die, that is not actually, what was the DC?
23.
Close. But he does not make it.
Sweet. So then that is going to be 43 radiant damage.
43 radiant damage on death. However, some wild magic shenanigans are about to happen because I have not forgotten, especially for the good people who have donated for it. I need von Zarovich and Veronica, please roll percentile dice for me if you would.
Percentiles.
Gladly. 22.
Ooh, that's going to be an 80. No, that's not an 8. That's a 69.
Nice.
You know, Strahd, hang on. It's about to be your turn. Nice. And the air around you begins to charge with magic. It is almost like the opportunity to show your true strength in front of these other Dark Lords is too good of an opportunity to miss. Because your target will have disadvantage on the save against the next spell that you cast against them.
Yes, this feels good.
And did I hear that was 69?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, nice, especially because of
Can
what
we
it
get chipmunk
actually
nice?
is. Okay, so, is it possible to chipmunk nice? Oh no, CB's busy. Okay, we were like nice in the chipmunk voice.
Wait, do you want it? Sorry, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Don't break the setup. It's fine. Okay, so here's how.
Nice.
Perfect. Here's
Just work
how
away.
we're going to do this for this wild magic. Voronika, roll 1d6, please.
The 3. But come on.
I was having you roll for who the target of this wild magic surge is going to be. And what I had in my head, if you rolled a 3, that's you. The target would be death. Number 69 on this wild magic table is the target is charmed by you. So as Von Zarovich,
I was
tries
trying to
it,
do that. I was just trying to do that.
You know, Death lunges forward and just sort of looks at you for a moment, Voronika, and says, "Perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps we should be working together after all."
It's an intriguing offer.
And you do see a faint blue light building in his eyes. However, Von Zarovich, it is your turn, and you
thought he was-
see this happening.
What are you doing after this?
I will say, for all of eternity. Von Zarovich, specifically the way that wild magic works, the next spell you cast against a target, it doesn't necessarily have to be death right now. Sure can be. But the next spell you cast, the target will have disadvantage.
So I look over to Veronica. So are Death and me cool, or like what's going on here? Is it just you?
It's I'll
Dumb.
give you his head if you like, or I'll spare
Oh,
him
he doesn't
if
like
you
me
wish.
very much. He doesn't
Well,
like me.
no, we're negotiating, Von Zarovich. It
Well,
is
you see,
up
my
to
last
you.
marriage didn't exactly end well, so I'm a little reluctant to do until death do us part.
I don't know that applies too well to us. Do you wish me to show Von Zarovich mercy?
I don't need mercy. I would like mercy.
An intriguing situation. Oh,
How about you send him over to Aslan?
Why would I
He's the one
send
who
him
got
to
us in this situation.
Ah,
Tell you
Well-
what, death,
Wait.
darling.
because of Vecna and his battle with the Lady of Pain. Do you not know where we are? The Labyrinth Stone, the place the Lady of Pain trapped her challenger over 10,000 years ago. Yes.
He's right. That is confirmed.
Death looks at you, Aslan. Actually, before Death says anything, I think Voronika was about to say something.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, it doesn't have to be anyone here who needs your displeasure. Perhaps someone else might be a better target.
Speak the name, and it will be done.
Well, I tend to run a little jealous, so how about the Lady of Pain?
Oh, that took a turn.
He looks down for a moment and he says, I don't know that she is immortal. There is only one thing that can deliver death to her. And you see he swings the scythe and hits the ground. And you see a crack start to form in this prison. Because as Aslan and the Raven Queen told you, that was quite correct. There is only one thing that can defeat the Lady of Pain, and it is trapped inside of this diamond. So, as it begins to crack and crumble and break, and you all find yourself back there in Sigil, with Vecna standing there, and he just says, "It worked. Wonderful." Behind you, you all see a figure. It is twisted and misshapen, and raises his head and looks around, its eyes wide with madness. Because you realize something. The Lady of Pain is a creature of law. The only thing that can defeat that is chaos. And that is what you have unleashed on Sigil. And I need all of you to roll initiative now.
Well, I'm using
Fantastic.
I'm using one of my nat 20s for initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Duvor, Nika, and I need to re-roll.
Yeah, I'm going to keep you guys in initiative.
I'm going to save that, but
Actually,
I do get advantage.
Just for the sake of, you're echoing again, by the way, Harkon. Okay, so here's how we're
I'm
going to
good.
do this. We're going to go into initiative, but I'm still going to let Strahd do something first because you were about to do something, and then we'll roll with the initiative. So that was a net 20 for Finn, I heard.
Yes, and before we do anything, I'm going to pop my dread form as a bonus action.
What does your dread form look like?
Imagine, I almost said DJ. Imagine Desmond's werewolf form, but redder eyes, and I have wings. These leathery bat wings that pop out. So basically, a fuzzy werewolf, but with wings.
Werewolf. Okay, love that.
Oh, I have. We should have talked more when you were there, Harkon, because that's my dread form.
You definitely sense a little bit of the blood of the beast.
I remember like a worm. A worm.
Oh yes. And I just give him a toothy smile.
At 20, perfect. Raven Queen.
23.
Aslan Rex.
I'm going to use one of my natural 20s, thank you.
I believe Finn is probably more dexterous than Aslan, but maybe not. He's spry.
I don't know. He's something. I have a 15 dexterity.
I have a 16.
What?
I probably did
Fine.
Aslan will be first. Harkon.
I did not get a nat. I'm not using my nat 20 because I'm pretty good at initiative. I got a 30.
Hey, perfect. Although that won't beat their net 20s, but you'll still be up there. So
that's fine. I'm gonna say that for something else.
No,
what kind
I
of
get it.
demonic dice rolls you have?
Roll for your ass.
I have a plus 11 to initiative.
Jesus.
Listen, they said build these stat blocks. This is a beefy stat block.
I did. I said what I said. Okay, so Von Zarovich, although you are not first in the initiative, I still will let you do something now because you were about to do something then.
How gracious of you. What is the whole situation that's going on right now? Do we just see this creature of chaos in front of us with Vecna and the rest of us, or what's going on?
Yes, you have been returned to Sigil. You have unleashed pure chaos, and also death itself on the Lady of Pain. But yes, and I would say Von Zarovich is also a creature of order in his heart. You wouldn't like this either, is you just see this thing that is just like looking around, freed for after 10,000 years.
Vecna, is this really what you wanted? This does not seem very going towards our goals here.
Oh, Von Zarovich, I assure you this is going towards my goal. It is merely a means to an end.
Oh God, I always knew you were an idiot. You were an idiot. Of all the darkened things in these domains of shadows, you are by far the dimmest. I'm going to go towards the shadow creature. And does it have like arms and like heads and stuff, or what?
It is vaguely humanoid, but it's just like doesn't make sense. Like its joints don't connect quite right. Like it's just there's a swirling distortion around it, like when it looks like heat coming off of a parking lot.
Okay, I'm going to try to hit this parking lot with my sword.
Do remember the next spell it will have disadvantage. You still don't have to use it, but just,
yeah,
I keep bringing it up so you don't forget.
It's true. I'll cast telekinesis on it. How about that?
All right.
Let me bring up the spell for myself.
I had almost certain. Well, good news, bad news. Good news, bad news. Your disadvantage soaked up a natural 20.
Nice.
However, I'm
Oh, no.
99% it is still going to make the save. However, hang on, let me get this here.
It is a strength check, not a saving throw.
Oh, strength. What is the?
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So that doesn't actually affect me if
Right.
if
Yep.
I'm giving. Okay, let me.
Yeah,
let me see, let me
it
see.
just is able to stand its ground. It got a 29, so I'm pretty sure it made it.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah. Okay.
However,
that's fine.
Von Zarovich, you hear a voice call out. Is that Strahd von Zarovich? Strahd von Zarovich, I am the almighty Xanathar! I am literally your number one fan because I am the number one at everything. I am the supreme being. And you see a fat, bulbous blob with an eyeball right in the middle, and a huge smile with lips pierced with jewelry, in 8 eye stalks that are looking in different directions, comes floating over as someone donated that the almighty Xanathar would show up and intervene to help Strahd in particular.
Nice.
Then, yes, obviously the almighty Xanathar is superior to all beings, including Strahd von Zarovich, but of the innately inferior, you are the most superior, Strahd von Zarovich. How might the almighty Xanathar be of some service? It would be good story to tell everyone that I fought next to you, that obviously I saved your life in the face of whatever this nonsense is. Obviously, you are surrounded by very beautiful and powerful looking people, if you're into that, with arms and legs. I mean, look at this one, this Raven Queen, but does she have the gleaming mucus sacs of the almighty Xanathar? No. Look at her.
Definitely does not have as many eye stalks as
Exactly.
you.
She's
as well.
only got yeah, exactly. You understand? Yes, Strahd. But how might the almighty Xanathar be of assistance?
We're going to have to work on that the PR of the story that will go out after this. But Strahd would love your assistance. How about I'm sure those eye stalks do something interesting. Could you point it at that big blob over there?
My might is cataclysmic, and you see the almighty Xanathar turns and looks at him, and Beholder's central eye have an anti-magic eye when they look at something. So I will affect accordingly what this thing can do as long as the Xanathar is looking at it. You see, it does just sort of look and go...
Enough with the noises, man. Easy.
Rotate its head and look. He goes, yes, that thing is disgusting, is it not? Also, it has far more appendages than you. That is a marked upgrade, but yes, it has too few eyes. Yes. Anything else from Strahd?
I think he's just trying to. His focus is completely left this creature of chaos. It's looking directly at Xanathar right now, just trying to take it all in. Just what's going
two
on?
Two of
here?
the eyes are looking at you, while the central eye is looking at the creature of chaos. Aslan Rex, it is your turn. Vecna is still just standing there, watching this all play out, like he's very happy.
Aslan Rex will turn to Vecna. I thank you, my lord, for the pearls of wisdom you have granted regarding my potential fate. Knowledge is, after all, power, and forewarned is forearmed. But this is chaos. What does this serve?
When the pieces are removed from the board, when the Lady of Pain no longer has dominion over Sigil, when Raven Queen no longer has dominion over the lands of death, Vecna will rule all things from here at the center of creation. I will control all things that live and all things that die. I could not release this without your help. And there will be a place for you in the new order. There will be a place for all of you in the new order.
But there will be a new order. You surely will not let the universe fall to chaos. Such a thing is unimaginable.
I am certain that once my enemies are defeated, this thing was trapped once, we will trap it again. All will be well, King.
Now, of course,
You've seen what awaits you, Aslan. Surely that is not the fate you've envisioned.
it is not. Very well. Aslan will hold an action, a spell, which he will cast at an appropriate moment, perhaps when an anti-magic field is not trained on this thing. Really interfere with what I have planned, but I've got that in reserve.
You see one of the Xanathar's eye stalks looks at you and goes, "Your mucus sacs are especially lacking. Look how dry and grainy your skin is. You lack moisture all over the place. That is a terrible thing. Also, I realize the Almighty Xanathar's power is antithetical to a pitiful wizard. Would you like me to move my anti-magic eye so that you can wage your attack?"
Yes, do it. And please keep up with the insults of Aslan.
Ashlyn Rex.
Ashlyn, yes. Ashlyn Rex.
I understand. That is why you are a goddess of darkness and shade. That is excellent. The Almighty Xanathar, there is nowhere that he can gaze his eye that will not be detrimental to one of these weaklings. The Almighty Xanathar will simply look down temporarily. And you see he does just rotate and point his anti-magic eye straight down. But Aslan Rex, you are free to act if you wish.
Very well. Time stop, I think.
Roll 1d4.
Well, gloves. That would be a 3 on a d4.
That is 4 rounds that you have of action outside of time. So basically 4 things you can do.
Very well. Now, as soon as one of my spells causes damage to something, it will negate the time stop. So first, a globe of invulnerability upon myself.
Mm-hmm. I will say, again, because it's charity, if you want multiple damaging effects, they will just all go off when time restarts. That is not normally how it is, but this is a happy occasion. So
I've got something that actually works within the rules.
You are a creature of law, King Aslan Rex.
Yeah, thank you, yes. The second action, a delayed blast fireball that will go off in 3 rounds. The third action, a delayed blast fireball that will go off in 2 rounds. And
Perfect.
Disintegrate.
I believe that is a number of the saves. So that is three saves, basically. All right. That's the first dex save. What is it that it needs to beat?
Hold on one moment. I have so many windows.
I too have a number of windows.
Hold on here. And I've made the one that I need the most go away. Hold on.
I'm intimately familiar with that. I will say, while we're figuring this out, Fan, you're on deck.
Very well. So the difficult.
Well, hang on. While you're sorting this out, did I just hear from our production overlords that we got a huge donation of some sort? Wow, Anonymous brought us up to 17K. That is a huge donation. Okay.
Well,
hey,
God.
Anonymous, I hope you're still watching, because guess what? You get to decide if this is going to be a TPK or not. I know you think they're immortal. They don't have to be. So Anonymous,
can it not be a TPK? Like we have suffered enough. Let us have the good ending, please.
I'm just saying, every single one of them did what they did to get themselves trapped in the mist the way that they did. So Anonymous,
I would like to hold for a true resurrection on myself.
Wow.
Anonymous, contact our production overlords there if you choose to. The whole point behind donating Anonymous is to donate Anonymous. So if you don't want to put your finger on the scale, we'll think of something else as we get a little bit closer. But feel free to contact our production overlords and tell them, TPK or not. And those of you that have watched these streams, you know that I will do it. Anyway, what was that save there, Excellent?
Difficulty is DC 23.
this thing is surprisingly dexterous, and although I rolled with advantage, I rolled very poorly. So the first delayed blast fireball does not make the save.
So
The second will make the save. And what's the DC on disintegrate?
also 23.
Will not make the save on the disintegrate, which probably hurts the worst.
Good. All right. So, first of all,
I tell you what, you just roll that all up to me and just give it. It's a did not save on the first one, did save on the second, did not save on the third one, and just give it to me when you got it. Because a lot of dice are going to be rolled by a lot of people here. So, Finn.
Yes.
As suddenly explosions are just erupting all around this thing, it is Finn's turn.
do you want that damage?
If you've got it.
Yes. So that is 72 points of damage from the first delayed blast fireball.
Mm-hmm.
54 from the second.
Mm-hmm.
I will get the disintegrate 2 in just a moment.
Perfect. Excellent. Finn, your turn.
So we have the Lady of Pain. And
Well,
who else?
You actually haven't seen the Lady of Pain yet. She has yet to arrive.
So we're just fighting Vecna then, is what we're doing.
Well, Vecna technically is still here monologuing. There is this twisted creature of chaos that you have unleashed from prison. This seems to be chaos embodied.
Well, since death is free, I'm going to use Finger of Death on this creature. And using that 20 not to miss.
Whoa. Well,
before that goes in, that was 111 points of damage from the disintegrate.
That is unnecessarily disrespectful. And yes, Finn.
What just happened? There was a lot that just happened.
It is just like it's standing there and then just with just like a laser to its chest because it did stop time. So yes, please continue, Finn. Actually, Finn, do roll. This is going to happen. But technically, this could have been a legendary action after Azalin Rex acted. Azalin, give me a charisma save. You're not uncharismatic.
Hold on 1 moment.
I did click this. Oh my god.
Oh, you know, given I'm not even going to look up at my bonus because given what I rolled on the die, that will be a legendary resistance.
You all see this thing just looks in the direction of Azalin and just goes, and behind him you see space begin to rip open, and you see the twisting chaos of the far realms behind it. You see tentacles come out and start wrapping around Azalin, about to pull him through. And what does it look like when you use your legendary resistance to stop this from happening to you, Azalin?
A small sort of cartoonish version of Azalin appears and goes, nah-ah-ah, nah-ah-ah.
And the portal closes. Yes, Finn. Damage.
That is a 64, but since I used my nat 20 on it, that will be double, so 128.
Okay.
And that is Finger of Death, so it should die, whatever that means. This creature.
Well, it's not enough to drop it to 0, though.
Aww.
Yeah, it's it is a lot. You all have beat on it, but I knew what was coming here.
Well, that was 78 plus 30 necrotic, so that is 128 necrotic.
Perfect. Got it. You all do, like, and chunks are flying off of it here. Anything else from Finn?
Oh, let's see, because I believe I might have a bonus action. I've already... Nope, I'm not hurt, so I won't use that. I am good.
Perfect. Harkon.
I need to know, are we doubling dice for nat 20s?
Yes.
That's what I needed to know. Great. I'm just doing this for ease, so we don't gotta go worry about it later. Yeah, so firstly, as this is happening, you see him kind of just place his violin, bleeding heart, to the ground and goes, I'll hand you in a second, darling. Just don't want you to break in this transformation. And then suddenly his entire form just bulges and rips, and you see fur come all over him. You see his eyes go bright red. His jaw kind of elongates, becoming this canine form. Grows extremely tall, potentially the tallest person here at this moment. Person, beast, we don't know. As Harkon Lucas takes up his actual Lugaroo, but much more than that form.
You see some of the Xanathar's eye stalks look at you, and he says, I understand the appeal of only 2 arms and 2 legs now. That is interesting. The rest of these are lacking in fur is the obstacle. I understand there. Yes, you've taught the Xanathar something, which is difficult because the Xanathar is, of course, all-knowing.
He just looks at him, looks at the Xanathar and says,
Are you ready to rumble?
And he immediately runs over to the creature to attack 3 times. The first was a 26 to hit.
That is enough.
Okay, second's higher, third's a nat 20. I'm
sensing a claw bite is what's about to happen here.
Oh no, it's all claw at this moment. He's not going to bite him yet. I'm gonna get you that damage in the second. However, as he strikes those 3 times, as a bonus action, you see him almost like with that last claw, he swoops up his violin and gets the grossest sound comes out of it as I quicken spell Psychic Scream.
Ooh, nice.
I need them to make an intelligence saving throw.
All right. It's pretty high. Let's see.
What is it?
Hang on, sorry. It is going to be... Again, I too have a number of tabs.
Fair.
Actually, not that high. Only a 24.
That failed.
Yep. That's not enough.
I have a DC 25, y'all. That is 14 D6 psychic damage, and they are stunned if they're able to do so. I will get you the damage in a second after I roll everything.
Please do. Is this like hellish barrage is starting?
And that is going to be my turn, but I'm going to stop right in front of it. Full tank mode, ready to do anything that we need to do.
Perfect. It is the creature's turn.
Also, does it's all magical, but do you want me to separate any type of damage?
Because it's psychic and slashing, right?
And force.
No.
Great.
None of that will apply.
So
Perfect.
chaos goes after. I'm just looking at the initiative.
Yeah, I had it wrong. Chaos goes after Harkon. I did write it after you, but it's after Harkon.
Okie dokie.
You see it just sort of like holds its hands up, and you all see reality just starts warping around all of you, and I need deck saves from everybody.
Okie dokie. You know what? I'm going to make this my nat 21.
Hey, okay.
I'm not rolling so good. That's an 18 for me.
That is 192 points of damage.
Is this a spell?
It is not.
Well, I would like to use one of my many advantages then.
Perfect.
Deck save, you said?
Oh my
Deck
god.
save.
Wow. Nepenthe got me jacked up. That was only a 7.
22.
Perfect.
20.
Aslan? 20?
So
Aslan? Hold on 1 second here.
If not, I can burn a legendary.
Well, the DC is 27. That is not going to be enough.
I will burn a legendary resistance. Thank you.
Resistance.
I will burn a legendary resistance.
Same.
It is just like twisting kaleidoscopic damage. It's everything. It's acid, it's cold, it's fire, it's lightning, it's poison. It's just reality itself is just ripping at you. If you did not make the save or use a legendary, it is 71 points of damage. If you did make the save or use a legendary, it's going to be 35 points of damage.
And Harkon had given us 28 temporary hit points each. Is that correct?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry, if you succeeded, what's the damage?
If you succeeded, 35.
35.
And Harkon, you being there in front of it, still have its full attention. It is going to send 3 attacks towards you.
That's fine. Also, really quickly add another 26 points of damage because I would have charged towards them and I have a charge ability. Sorry, that's me. Sorry.
I mean, you all are clearly ripping into this thing and blowing holes in it. I mean, like, it is being damaged, but it is not falling.
Ah!
Question: that damage
Yes.
you did take, what kind of damage? What you said it was all
It's rotating. Yeah, it's like
So our
kaleidoscopic
resistances
damage.
would not come into play.
Correct. It is pure chaos damage. This is a different reflavored monster anyhow, although it did not roll wonderfully. What is your although it's got a significant to hit. What is your
I'm
AC,
sure.
Harkon?
In this form, it's 23.
It is actually going to miss once, but it is going to hit you twice, Harkon, for 23 force damage and 21 slashing. And
Okay,
it
that matters.
grabs you.
You said 23 and 21?
Yes.
Right.
And you are grappled and restrained, Harkon. As big as you are, when it grabs you, you see it's like its arm extends and just tentacles like of vines and thorns start wrapping around you as it just looks up at you with these bizarre twisting eyes.
You get hurt by grappling me, because my fur is quite sharp. You get hit with 3d8 slashing, so I'll get you that real quick. But okay, yeah, I'm grappled. Hit me.
Grappled and restrained. Perfect. Now, Raven Queen.
Oh, at the end of it,
Yes.
Azalin will take a legendary action.
Mhm.
Curse this thing. It will need to make a DC 25 Constitution.
It got twin. Oh wait, nope. It's going to make the save.
Very well.
It's got a significant con bonus.
Try that.
Is it save or suck?
That save will suck, but if I can get this off, it will be vulnerable to necrotic damage, and I think we all can dish that out.
I think you can as well. Raven Queen, your turn.
The Raven Queen will use her multi-spell feature when I'm using a stat block I found on Reddit.
Jesus.
So first we'll cast Feeble Mind.
Ooh.
So immediately we'll take 5,
Well,
8.
Well, Feeble Mind should drop its intelligence down to 1. Oh, is this
First,
stat
yeah,
block just-
I'm getting there.
Right. Got
So 15 points off the bat just of psychic damage, and then it needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
What's the DC?
30.
It is gonna burn a legendary.
Okay.
It's not going down to 1 intelligence up in her. Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's one down.
Well, that's one down. Okay, fine. If that didn't work, I'm going to cast an 8th level fireball spell. So please make a dex save.
All right. However,
Fine,
if you
fire,
do this,
fine, fire.
Fine, fire.
Harkon will be right here. If
Hit
that
me,
happens.
hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me.
Go.
I think the Raven. I think the Raven.
Yeah.
I think the Raven Queen probably knows that she does control the domains of the Shadowfell. Technically, you would know that I'm quite agile. So do what you got to do.
Restrained. Remember that. That
Listen,
means,
if I have to bring you back to life, I will.
It's fine. Do it. Do the thing. Do the thing.
yeah, you'll have disadvantage on the save. All
Okay.
right. Yes. Play and it failed to save, but it is going to use another legendary. So yes.
So it'll take half.
Yep. Although roll. What's the save DC?
30.
All right. Roll it, Harkon.
I can't beat that, so I'm just gonna legendary resist too.
Just everybody just standing here burning. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So I guess just give me half damage.
However, I'm also evasive, so I will take 0 damage. It's why I said that.
Makes sense on the legendary. Yep.
Yep.
Hey, nowhere is it written that you cannot use evasion when restrained.
Yep.
Thank
The
you.
whole thing. I'm good. We're fine.
Yep. Perfect. Anything else from the Raven Queen?
No, but it takes, hang on.
Y'all got a bunch of nat 20s here. I hope you're keeping track of this. Yep.
So 56 was
I
the
think you have some
full.
too.
Oh, I know. I got mine.
Hold on.
56 was the total.
56 was the full.
28. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Before this next thing, we got a little bit of accounting here. We got a bunch of wild magic surges. So I need Harkon
Can we not?
and
Can we not?
Finn, and Aslan to all roll percentile. Actually, Aslan, I need you to do it twice.
Very well.
Oh, man.
I got a 1.
All right, hold on a second. That's not necessarily. It's not necessarily bad though. Hold on.
I've never gotten a 1 on a G100.
Let's see here. Hang on. All right, with a 1. Oh my goodness! Every time it's your turn, you have a new wild magic surge, Harkon.
Oh,
Every time it comes to you.
Omega was just telling us how much he loves them.
That's
Your
exactly-
wish is unlimited wishes.
There it is.
Wow.
Yay! But no more wishing for more wishes. Perfect. And that was for you. Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth between things here.
So much wild magic.
So you get wild magic and you get wild magic. Finn,
14.
14. Ooh, okay. Hold on.
Oh no.
You hear Nepenthe is just howling with rage. And you see this thing looks at you, Finn, and you feel the chaos and madness and anger start to take over you. And as a wild magic surge, you cast the confusion spell centered on yourself. What is your save DC?
Not enough for this madness.
No, you're the one casting it. It's everybody else is gonna have to save. What's your DC? Mm-hmm.
16.
All of you need wisdom saves.
Can Voronika react and use her negate spell on this one?
Yeah, what's that do?
That
Ooh.
is seeing a creature within 60 feet of her casting the spell interrupts it if the creature is casting a spell using a spell slot of 8th or lower. Spell fails. If it is casting at 9th, it must succeed a DC 23.
You absolutely can negate the confusion effect. What's it look like when Voronika does it?
She just snaps her fingers. No.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Nope. Finn, it's all good.
What? Where? Who? Huh?
Aslan,
The
two
first-
of them. Mhm.
The first result was a 48.
48 is on the screen, but hidden down at the bottom.
I don't like them.
That does not sound good.
No, it's great. It's great. Actually, tell me the second one first, because it may directly affect the first one.
And the second is Lucky 7.
Lucky 7. Aslan, you see Vecna is looking at you and watching all of this, and he says, I'm most impressed by you and your power, Wizard King. And yet I realize there are some things your heart yearns for that have eluded you. But nothing eludes me. And he motions because, with a 48, a unicorn appears. What does a unicorn that Aslan would have dreamed about look like?
Oh my god.
Oh, I would
Terrifying.
think it is undead, most certainly. Empty eye sockets, visible ribs, perhaps trailing a long line of entrails from its ruptured belly. But still a unicorn. I wish Desmond were here.
The second thing is you cast the Dragon's Breath spell of any damage type you like, but it's going to come from your undead Dragonelle unicorn. So
Very
you
well.
tell
Towards
me
the
what
opponent.
kind of energy you send downfield from this unicorn.
So it could be any dragon breath weapon, yes?
Yes, any kind of dragon breath.
Acid would probably be most efficacious against this thing.
Excellent. Now let me this was the total that we had: 1 for Harkon, 1 for Strahd, 1 for Voronika, 2 for Aslan, 1 for Finn. We've resolved all of those, correct?
Yes.
Hey.
Except for Harkon's perpetual.
Have we not?
Yeah, no, I
Goes
mean,
on forever.
that's the gift that keeps on giving. That's what that one is. Perfect. It is going to make the save. Hang on, let me see if it specifies what spell level you cast it at. If it's not, it's just the regular one. Yeah, hang on, let me just see what the Dragon's Breath spell level is. A lot to keep track of. It is level 2, 15-foot cone, 3d6 damage, which it did not make the save, so 3d6.
Very well. Not terribly impressive given the damage being slung about, but every little bit helps. That's actually a good roll. That will be a total of 13 points of acid damage.
Perfect, and it does splash and burn and sizzle. Excellent.
Does it seem that this thing is it doing about the amount of damage one would expect from a big gout of acid?
So far, yeah. It doesn't seem particularly resistant to any of these things.
Acid is good. Try acid, everyone.
Voronika.
Don't do drugs.
As it comes around to you, you feel a shadow fall over you, Voronika. And I need a dex save.
Okay.
Is this a spell?
It is not.
Okay. I'm gonna use my advantage that I got, and that's gonna give me a 27 with that one.
That is enough that you begin to feel the skin on your back begin to boil and peel and tear away as you step to the side, and you manage not to look her straight in the eye unless you wish to, Voronika. There is a 30-foot lady of pain right behind you. She has a metal face that looks like there are rays of the sun coming off of it, and Death looks up at her and just points the scythe. And Voronika, she doesn't talk. Raven Queen, you know, she never talks. She can, she just doesn't.
I type.
But Voronika, you very much feel in your heart, you. But it's your turn.
Strata has taken out the parasol and started protecting himself from the rays of sun of Lady Pain.
That's
fan art.
Okay, she is going to keep herself away without looking. Yeah, let's I think we're gonna teleport. I think I can do that. God, there's so much going on here.
A lot's happening here, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? She's just gonna face step herself away from this, like get 30 feet away from all of that, and kind of like butter, like you two need to talk, and like kind of talking between Lady of Pain and Death. So that is her bonus action. She will do that. And then for funsies, get a moonbeam going.
Okay, wait a second. No, please moonbeam. Please moonbeam. If I might chat. You guys have been great. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you to the life-changing difference that you have made for some people here. Thank you for allowing us all to come out here and have a good time. I don't believe production overlords. Anonymous did not speak up whether or not they wanted this to go poorly. Correct. Okay, Anonymous didn't. So I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Now, normally, Black Dice Society is a horror stream. This is not the Black Dice Society. This is a charity game. This is supposed to be a happy occasion. Harkon Lucas has hearkened unto you, asking for something good to happen. I will leave it simply up to you, chat. You got a choice. Do they have a good ending? Or do they have a bad ending? And bad may not be TPK. Bad, I would have let our mystery donor decide TPK. The bad doesn't mean you're going to kill them all. It just means this is about to go poorly. So yes, please, production overlords, good or bad. We'll just give it like a minute or two here. But in the meantime, us. I'm just saying, love takes many forms. Because you could also just show love from me.
No.
Yes,
absolutely not.
Voronika, what was the save DC on that?
23.
It is Dex, right?
Con.
Oh, con. Let me double check. I think it's got a chunk
Wow.
con. Yeah, it's got a chunk con. It is going to make the save. Yes, Finn?
No, just I see our own agent of chaos in the chat demanding a TPK.
Who is that?
Lady Luck, the one who's been clipping all these and already paid for me to get a disadvantage.
Oh, I have not forgotten about that, Mandy. I know we got a disadvantage in the can for Finn. Yeah.
As this creature finds their resolve, there's going to be almost like a spectral claw that plays on Bleeding Heart. Silvery barbs. Please re-roll that.
Ooh, like it.
Like that. I got you, Nika.
Thanks.
Or more like
that is going to turn it into a fail on the moonbeam. Yep, that will turn it into a fail. Yes, please.
So that's going to be 44 radiant damage.
Well, we're at a crossroads. So let's just we'll just take a second while chat lets us know which ways that yes, Ashlyn.
How close are we to the end of the round?
That Voronika is the last to act in the round. Technically, Strahd is last in initiative, but we let him go first because of all.
I might as well use this legendary action that has gone unspent. Let's try that curse again.
Perfect. Hang on. I will potentially let this curse resolve before you, Voronika, because it may affect some things here.
Okay.
So what was the save DC there?
That is DC 25.
25 what, by the way?
Constitution.
I'm gonna use my advantage. Meh.
Very well.
And my second roll with the advantage, so I got a 7 and a 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it doesn't work.
Very well. So from now on, this thing is vulnerable to necrotic damage. It also cannot regain hit points. And I believe, well, that's enough, really. So, yes, it's
perfect.
Vulnerable until the curse is ended. So, unless it's got a greater restoration up its sleeve.
Voronika, I know you said moonbeam, but we're getting wibbly wobbly with time.
So
if you know that necrotic is vulnerable to necrotic, you can do that
she's gonna
instead.
pull out. she's gonna do her little Druid of Koshmar and pull out Blight instead.
Yes.
Right.
And use the roll
Double
for that
dip.
one instead. So that's
Perfect.
gonna turn into 60 necrotic.
Voronika, tell me what it looks like as you drive this thing off the prime material plane.
Hell yeah.
It's less what she does, and it's more that these dark black vines start shooting out from underneath the creature and start wrapping around it, and you see these roses on the vine that look like they're red, but you realize they're dripping with black red blood. And it basically swirls itself around this creature, starting to asphyxiate it, starting to like almost pull it asunder, and then it just pulls it heavily into the ground, and the ground seals itself back over.
Ably done, my lady Veronica.
Thank you, Azalin.
I shall claim.
You see the Xanathar rotates his eye and looks right at the Lady of Pain and is like, I don't understand what all the fuss is about. Oh, ow, it's burning my eye. Oh, it's burning my eye. And he like looks and starts to fly away from her. And she turns and looks at you again, Voronika, and time stops for everyone but the Raven Queen. And she stands there looming over you, but she actually shrinks down to be face to face with you, and she's looking you in the eye, but it's not burning.
But I give her a nod of respect.
And she looks at all of the Dark Lords, and she says, you fell into Vecna's trap. And yet, you did so by attempting to assist me. But that one, and she points at Voronika, has wronged me. Do you take the consequences on her behalf, because she would not be here if not for you? Or will she suffer for her own actions?
It was I who brought her here, and so I will take the consequences.
You see, she just looks at you for a second, and she says, although the consequences will be dire, she looks up, and although her face is literally a metal mask, you can't help but make out the smallest smile. She says, we know each other too well to allow such a small thing to come between us in the long term. And you all see time restarts. And the Lady of Pain looks at you, Veronica, and you feel the pain starting. And she says, the Raven Queen has paid the price for you. Never return here, or you will be destroyed. And she holds her hand up, and you all see a mass of energy begins forming around the Raven Queen, trapping her in place. Because the two cards the Raven Queen drew were talons, where you lose all of your possessions, and Donjon, where you were trapped. And as Vecna begins to cheer, Raven Queen, I have to send you a message there. Vecna just says, I did it! I did it! The Shadowfell is mine!
Can I let Nepenthe have his way?
Roll it. Let's see.
I still have nat 20s. I'm using it.
I was also going to try to use nat 20s to dismember Vecna.
All right, Strahd's using a 20. Nepenthe is using a 20. Has anybody else got a 20 to cash in? Aslan shoot a 20? Oh, we're sorry.
Aslan is going to attempt to escape his horrible fate by plane shifting away.
Perfect.
Ooh. I also want to counterspell it, but
yes,
And I'm going to nat 20, but it's going to be flavored in the sense that I'm bestowing my own curse. My music is going to just destroy him inside, making him vulnerable to anything that they do.
And what is Veronica doing in this moment?
She is absolutely going to use her nat 20 as well. And let's see here. Oh, she'll do a moonbeam just because why not?
You moonbeam him?
Mm-hmm.
So the mists come slamming in around all of you as the Raven Queen stands there petrified, as Nepenthe goes to swing, Von Zarovich claws, as Aslan teleports away, as Harkon is singing this dissonant verse, and Veronica calling down the power, and Vecna stands there laughing as you all are torn back into the Shadowfell with your last act as goddess, Raven Queen. What happens?
As my last act, I am no longer caged. You see nothing. But inside all of your heads, you hear, most often, people, whether they are Dark Lords, whether they are gods, whether they are mortals, fail to see the broad chess piece of time. Everything has fallen into place.
As you all slam into Vecna, as he is laughing, as Nepenthe begins to cut into his neck, as the energy erupts, as Strahd sinks his fangs into him, you're all right back where you started. All in your dread domains.
No.
But you see something. You see another place. Vecna, trapped again. Standing there laughing. I've won! I've won! With all of you laying dead at his feet. And he turns and he looks around the Shadowfell and he goes, just, no. No! No! And the duplicates of each of you begin to get up and torment him once again. As the Raven Queen, in her final act, in the universe will find out what that means, has managed to trap Vecna back once again, along with all of you. And that is a good place for us to stop. Thank you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you for your tremendous generosity. Again, we never know how these things are going to go. And you all were so generous in our first game and in the previous events here this week. We weren't sure at all, but thank you so very much for helping us not only meet, but exceed our goal. Thank you to our anonymous big donor there. Thank you for our non-anonymous big donor whose name suddenly eludes me. Brady? I almost say the wrong thing. Thank you. And also thank you to everybody that gave literally anything, because literally all of it makes a difference. So what I would like to do, so we'll go back around the horn here in the opposite direction that we went last time, so you can tell everybody who you are and where people can find you. And I believe, although she is not on screen, we will at least be able to hear Char's voice to hand us off afterwards. So I will start with our returning hero, literally returning for the first time. We got Spring Break Strahd, Beach Blanket Barovia, Suns Out, Guns Out Strahd. I love it.
Bro Von Zarovich, I think is what Omega called him.
Bro Von Zarovich. Mr. Johnny Stanton.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I am Johnny Stanton. You can find me on the interwebs at Johnny Stanton IV. And yeah, check me out for some cool stuff coming up.
Hey, Aslan Rex.
Hello, I'm Mark Meer. You can find me also on the interwebs. And if you would like to see me act as the keeper for a Call of Cthulhu campaign, I suggest you go to Chaosium's YouTube channel and watch Bookshops of Arkham.
Is that done yet?
Oh yeah, it was a little mini series. It was 4 episodes, 4.5 episodes because we had some technical issues. But that is up on the Chaosium channel, and of course, I'm available on Cameo for all your Mass Effect catchphrase related needs.
Hey, I know that guy. Excellent. And Finn?
Hey, I'm Tanya.
For Pin?
No, I refuse. I refuse to accept this. By the way, I'm Tanya. I've been Fen Independent this evening. You can find me on Rivals Waterdeep. We are in our last 6 episodes ever. This Sunday is episode 7 of season 15. And if you're going to be in New York, April 18th, I will be at the Gaming Awards, doing a little presentation, being there. And even though Mandy gave me disadvantage, she'll be there with me. And, Rivals every other Sunday till we are done in June. And after that, I have 0 ideas. So, hey, I like to roll dice. Come find me.
I just appreciate that, there is definitely a concerted effort in chat right now to figure out something else for the sequel. Again, I'm like, what kind of monster would leave a dangling unresolved plot issue like that we have to come back and address?
Oh, no. I wonder who that could be.
Harkon.
Hey everybody, again, my name is Omega Jones, also known as Critical Bard across all social media channels. I have been Harkon, your Meister Singer, with a little bit of sass and soul to him. You can catch me doing many things because I'm always busy, but specifically this coming Saturday, April 1st, you can catch me raising some funds for Child's Play with Mercy Road on twitch.tv/Saucefire. I'll be playing with Brian Gray, Eugenio, Urban, Oba Lauren, and an amazing epic group of friends throughout the entire weekend. And then also on April 8th, I'll be starting an Elder Scrolls campaign starting on my channel with a bunch of players I've not announced yet, but check my socials for all of that jazz. Yeah, that's me. Thank you so much. Keep making trouble wherever you go.
Nightblade Supremacy. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm playing a night. No, I'm not.
Veronica.
Hey everyone, I'm V Muse. I do a lot of things, both in front and behind the camera. If you want to catch me in front of the camera, come over to CNE Games and catch Paint and Slay, where we paint minis every Friday at noon Pacific. If you want to see some stuff I've been working on behind the camera, then tune in on Monday for the first episode of Series 3 of A Familiar Quest, also on CNE Games with some fantastic people.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, the Raven Queen.
Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Noura Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere at Nouralogical. I have been your Raven Queen. You might also know me from Black Dice Society, where I play the Raven Queen, but mostly I play Nahara, or from World of Darkness, New York by night and LA by night. You could also catch me streaming all the time on Realmsmith, the Glass Cannon Network, and yes, World of Darkness. So just follow me on stuff and I will keep you updated on my shenanigans.
You know what? Normally we do this afterwards, but when we played on Friday, somebody jumped too quick and I didn't get it. So you know what? Everybody's going to get it. Everybody pose for the screenshot. You watching at home, here you go. You can screenshot our glamour shot. We'll do 3, 2, 1 picture. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, you all are so beautiful. And me, I'm B.Dave Walters. I do that. I say word about things. You can find me all over the interwebs, wherever fine streaming content can be located. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for your generosity. I'm B.Dave Walters everywhere. And, you know, I do things. But with that, I hand you over to Shar, the mastermind behind all of this, to take us out.
Hello, everybody. Shar here. I hope I'm coming in clearly. I can't take all the credit for this one, though. Credit needs to go where credit is due, which is Critical Bard, Omega Jones, made a tweet a few months ago saying, you know, what would be amazing doing a Dark Lord stream for charity. And that's how this all was born. So thank you so much, Omega, for getting that ball rolling. And thank you, everyone, for coming today to play with us some, I don't know what to call it, level 30 Gods, Dark Lords, D&D.
Basically.
This has been fan-freaking-tastic with 284 hours of counseling being funded. That is a huge dent in our 2-year wait list for survivors of sexual violence. This is absolutely incredible. Every single dollar counts. Thank you if you just shared the stream, if you were able to donate, if you were just in chat vibing with us and getting that hype train going for these donations. Every little bit helps. Shifting society is a shared responsibility from everyone. So thank you all so, so much for this incredible impact that you're having on the lives of survivors at WAVAW and beyond.
Yep.
That's
well,
for me.
There's nothing else to say except, well, what's the next thing in this? I know because you're not. This wasn't the last game in the fundraising push, correct?
Yes, we are going to be raiding Blackwater D&D, who is currently also streaming for survivors. So please stick around in chat and give them a hello from WAVAW and from the Dark Lords when we get over there.
Excellent. Again, thank you all. Thank you to Kelly, who's running things on the back end. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.